How was your company or association created? Who created it? When? Where? What's the most amazing little known fact about your product? What are some of the great stories that past customers have told you about using it? Is it used the same way in Victoria as it is used in Gander, Newfoundland? All of the above, if you tell those stories, if you answer those questions and shape that into a story, all of the above will have a Canadian feel to it, because it all happens in Canada. I'm not saying to go out of your way to write a Canadian story. I'm saying don't go out of your way to bleach the Canada out of your story. A Canadian company talking to its Canadian customers in our language, using our shared signposts and a shared shorthand is meaningful. Toonie Timmy's Double Double. And don't forget our sense of humor, by the way. It is uniquely Canadian. For example, self-deprecating humor is one of our favorite pastimes. Yet, whenever I've written self-deprecating ads for American companies, they never buy them. It's clearly a Canadian character trait that just doesn't resonate with our neighbors as much as it does with us. I often think of our national animal. Britain has a lion, Russia has a bear, the United States has a soaring eagle, and we have a beaver. Not a timber wolf, not a moose, not even an ornery caribou. No, we have a beaver. And I think having a buck-toothed national animal sums up our sense of humor better than anything I could put before you. So as marketers, you should be telling those stories that are Canadian. The .ca URL domain name to me is so important because it says immediately that you're Canadian. I think Canadians love to deal with other Canadians, like to do business with other Canadians. And when they see a .ca URL, there's a level of trust, there's a level of safety there. I personally feel that there's the same level of fraud. A friend of mine, Rob Walker, he writes the Consumed column in the New York Times Magazine. He did an incredible experiment on eBay recently. He took very boring, everyday products. One of them was, for example, a meat thermometer. He paid less than $1 for it. But before he posted it on eBay, he got some really wonderful writers to write stories about all these products. So the story that the writer he chose wrote about the meat thermometer was something like this. Remember the days when meat was cool and avocados were warm, and my heart was a piece of meat pierced by love's thermometer. Like just a crazy 4-line story. So Rob put the meat thermometer, which he paid under $1 for, up on eBay with that story. And it ended up selling for, I can't remember what it was exactly, it was $51 or something. Like an astounding response from people because they were responding to the story. The story gave that insignificant product some meaning. And I think that's the power of a story. It gives products that are really just inert, like what does this notebook is just paper in a spiral, but if I tell you the story of how it's made in the paper and how only serious writers choose these particular notebooks, it suddenly has meaning. I think when it comes to marketing, telling stories or storytelling is so important to any branding or any marketing campaign. Every product has a story. How it's made, what its history was, how it's used, great stories from people who have used it. When consumers look at a product, they do a price value evaluation in their mind immediately. The price part is easy. The price is the price, whatever the price is, $19.95 or whatever. But the value story is very interesting to me because the value that they place on the product tells them in their mind whether the price is reasonable. And I think you can only tell value through storytelling.